So it's been just about a month since our new Governor Ned Lamont took office. Now his focus is growing Connecticut's economy, and he happens to have a business whiz by his side to do that.
That's right, Carrie may not realize it, but his wife Annie Lamont is a powerful force in the high-stakes world of venture capital. In fact, Forbes Magazine put her on its Midas list, calling her one of the most successful women in venture history, and together the first couple has raised 3 children.
So how does she do it all, and what will her role be now? I sat down for an exclusive interview with Annie Lamont to find out.
I meet Annie Lamont in the governor's residence.
Nice to see you. Thank you.
And she walks out happy with a warm greeting to talk about this latest chapter in their very full lives.
It is funny because people say to me, oh my gosh, how are you going to manage your work life, and now with Ned being governor? I'm like, are you kidding? I raised 3 children and worked. I'm like, that is so much harder, and now they're actually helpful to me as adults.
Emily's now 31, Lindsay's 27, and Teddy's 25. This is the family on a trip to Disney World when they were younger, and she admits it wasn't always easy managing a busy, high-stakes career, but the Lamonts always leaned on each other.
There's nothing harder than that balance, but there's nothing more rewarding. I mean, it was amazing, and I think back to Ned being a partner, so his office was 5 minutes from our house, so that was very helpful if something fell through the cracks or a child got sick, and I will say, we had the advantage of being able to have help in our home, and not everybody has that, and I completely appreciate that. But I think, the old expression, it takes a village. I mean, the reality is we had many great friends, and I had a number of great friends who didn't work, who were incredibly supportive of what I was doing, and were part of the village to help raise my children.
Annie grew up in a small town called Whitefish Bay, Wisconsin. He came from wealth and privilege. She did not.
I grew up in a household where we were washing the Glad bags because, of course you were going to recycle them, and of course you recycle the wrapping paper around your presents. And so I do know what it's like. My father had a very, very small business, and when I went to Stanford, I did have to work to support my going to college. And in my junior year, my father got very sick. And we didn't have appropriate health care insurance, and I had to drop out of college. And so people should know that I have been through the struggles that people know. I know the issues around health care costs. I understand the cost of education is too high.
After spending a summer working as a bank teller, bored to tears, Lamont made a decision that shaped her life.
I have this mantra that's, do something that scares you every day. And so I think I've tried to embrace that in terms of challenging myself. I mean, public speaking was something I just absolutely hated as a child, and all through college. And though I just kept pushing myself to do it. And so I think it's just like getting over your fears and challenging yourself.
What's the one thing she hopes she instilled in her children?
I think we've always wanted them to think about where they fit in the world and thinking about something just beyond themselves. And I think it's very hard when you're children, you think mostly about yourself. And so that, I think they have that, and I'm proud of that. I mean, that's great. I think thinking about the underdog and kindness. I think kindness is underrated. And so I think, they've had a very privileged life, and they know it. And they're very sensitive to that. So I'm proud of that too. I mean, I'm happy that I think they've become good people.
You guys are busy. I know everyone's busy, but you guys are really busy. What do you do to pause and to connect, to even make it work?
Right. Well, the good news is, I was a political science major at Stanford, and so we do love talking about, it's funny because we talk constantly about politics and policy, and I'm very interested in that. It's something that we do. But we love sports and activities. So we love to golf together. We love to ski, play tennis, go on hikes. We're very outdoorsy.
Annie is tiny but mighty. She loves to run and eats an avocado every day. For a treat, she prefers almond froyo. As for TV shows, when they get time,
Ned will watch sports, okay. So he's a baseball fan and a football fan, and man, I have my show, Grey's Anatomy. He doesn't like hospital shows.
Grey's Anatomy is your guilty pleasure. Okay.
Yeah. But I do feel like figuring out that thing that will get you excited to wake up and go to work, because it is about that. You know, 30 years later, I am more excited about what I'm doing than I was 30 years ago.
Yeah, some good advice for the young people out there. Figure that thing. So I found her to be super smart. Also, she came across very warm. She really does want to help Connecticut businesses grow. So that is going to be her focus as First Lady. We talked a lot about that last night at 6, and you can watch that on WFSB.com. Though she is still going to keep her full-time job and says she will leave the policy making to Ned. But as you can see, they do work as a team. So I think, as some have called her first partner, that might be a fitting description of them.
Yeah, she seems very, very, very lovely. So that was a nice take on this interview.
Yeah.